Grand elevation, everyone. Welcome to my Darts channel, Diaspora and African Repatriation Tourism Service, or Dynamic Artist Renaissance. Darts you like, but it's all still darts, D-A-R-T-S. Francesca Abbey. And I realized I hadn't done anything for Women's History Month. I should say Women's HerStory Month. So I've decided that I am going to do this little discussion topic on domestic abuse. And it's a touchy subject because it's a subject that many women or men that go through it don't want anyone to know about. So many times people, the victims, I'll say, suffer for years in silence without telling anyone, without giving anyone any suspicion. They'll cover up their bruises. They may have a sore arm or sore shoulder or sore body part, and they'll say, "Oh, I bumped into a wall," or, I leaned up against something, or I slept wrong or something, oh, how'd you get the black eye? Oh, I walked into the door or something, all kinds of excuses, but they will never want the embarrassment, what they perceive as embarrassment. They don't want it. Hey, Sister Zenobia, how are you? Oh, thank you so much for joining my live. They don't want to suffer the their own perceived embarrassment of people knowing that they have been in this abusive relationship, or I call it a situationship. I hate to even call it a relationship if there's any kind of abuse on any level coming from either party, because yes, there are women that abuse men as well, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, especially in some places, people working roots on each other and stuff. That's abuse. You're insulting, belittling someone, making them feel less than. That's abuse. You're shouting at them, you're cursing at them, or you're just taking their money against their will, whether you're stealing it or just, swindling them out of it or whatever. That's abuse. Whatever type of way that, a person is being treated in a way that's inhumane, it's abuse. So with that said, yeah, I wanted to discuss why some women stay and why some women gather up whatever they need to gather up, whether it's courage or whatever, or the will, and leave, and how they manage to leave. It's not easy, especially if the woman is worried that if she tries to leave, that the abusive relationship or situationship can become violent or homicidal. And sometimes the woman has an inkling, an idea of, well, there's a potential, this person has a bad temper, and this person has cut somebody or shot somebody before, stabbed somebody before, or snapped their neck before, and if you know that person has a violent nature, you probably don't want to tell them that you're leaving, because they're not going to let you go easily. Some men will say, or some women will say to men, if I can't have you, nobody can. And, we look at it as a cliche statement, but some of these people are just crazy enough to mean it. And there's enough statistics out there to prove what I'm saying is true. And then there's these other silent perpetrators that you never knew that they were violent. As far as you know, they were a pussycat. They always, they may be abusive in certain ways, maybe financial abuse or emotional abuse, but not violent. And then all of a sudden you decide, okay, I'm enough. I'm tired of, this abusive situation. I'm just going to leave. I'm breaking up with you or whatever. And they snap and turn violent. And that violent can accidentally become a homicide. So to the women who stay, and there's so many reasons. I tried to list some of the reasons that I could think of off the top of my head why some women stay. Like they may be staying for religious purposes. They're staying for the sake of the children because they're married to this person, to the abuser, and they had children by this abuser, and so they don't want a broken home for their children. If he kills you, he's going to jail, you're going to the cemetery. It's going to be a broken home anyway. Duh, you know. Some women stay because maybe the abuser has a lot of money, a good career going, and they have a lot of money. So they stay for the money or for the lifestyle that they become accustomed to. No, baby. Go get your own. Leave that situationship. And even if you have to start off from scratch, nothing, leave the relationship. At least you leave with your health and your life and your dignity. You may not have money, you may not have the lifestyle that you became accustomed to with that person, but you can build your own, you know, and live, because people will try to take you down when they think that you're going to leave them. So, my sisters, if you're in a situation like that, a situationship like that, please, please get out while you still can. Take your children with you, take your cat, your bird, whatever, and get out of that situation before it gets any worse. Not to mention the toll that the abuse can take on your spirit. If you're worrying about the situation, Zenobia Ridley, hi, you said, I grew up in a domestic violence situation. My mom would not leave, and now ooh, Sister Zenobia, I'm so sorry, baby. Oh my God. You see, like I said, some women don't make it and they stay for so many reasons. And sometimes they don't even know that this abusive person could be even capable of homicide. And sometimes maybe the abuser didn't even intend for it to turn into a homicide. But if you push somebody, with your hands, you shove them with your hands and, just trying to push them away from you, and they slip and fall backwards or trip over something and hit their head on a marble coffee table or something, now it's a homicide. It can happen that quick, or it can be intentional. We just never know. But if you know you're in some type of potential danger, get out of there. Take whatever you can carry and get out of that situation now. Don't wait, because the window of opportunity will not be open for you very long. That window of opportunity can close at any time, so so that's that part. And the other part I wanted to discuss is how some women leave. It's never, well, in my opinion, thank you for the like, Sister Zenobia, I appreciate it. It's never been, to me, a good idea to face your abuser. Okay, so I'm hoping this is still recording. Uh, if not, then I'll just record it and I'll start over and record it over and just upload at another time. But I'm hoping that we're still recording. Um, Sister Zenobia, in so many situations, the victim I agree with you, Novia, and I would even go so far as to say in just about every situation, these women or men who stay in these abusive relationships or situationships love something more than they love themselves. Either they love the abuser more than they love themselves, or they love their children who they don't want to be, in a broken home. They love them, they love themselves. And sometimes they love their religion more than they love themselves because their religion, whatever religion it is, or you're not allowed to divorce, or you're not allowed to be a single woman. In certain countries they frown upon single women. Yep, that's right, Sister Zenobia. The home is already broken anyway. If there's abuse coming from any and the victim, that home is broken anyway. So you just kind of finishing it off by leaving out. So yeah, some people love their religion more than they love themselves. So they stay in the abusive situation because of their religious beliefs. And if your religious belief cares more about prestige than someone's safety, then you need to leave the situationship at home, and you need to leave that religious belief too, because they don't care nothing about you. They want you to give money. If it's Christianity, they want you to give tithes, and I don't know about other spiritual religious organizations what form of money they ask for, but believe me, if they love the religion and the prestige of its congregants more than they love the congregants, then that's an abusive relationship too. You need to get out of that too. That's how I feel. Yeah, I'm not telling anybody what to do. Yep, sacrificial lamb. There you go, Sister Zenobia. You know, we only get one life. We're not coming, well, if we come back, we're not going to remember this life that we're living right now. We're not coming back with all these memories. I mean, some of these memories may have been in our DNA from past lives or whatever. That's a possibility. But how do we decipher what memories is from a past life and what, is not? But neither here nor there. We only have one life, one go round that we're ever going to remember. And why live it in misery? Why? You don't know what you don't know until you get out and explore. And when you get out of this abusive relationship and find out that there's a better life waiting for you, step out on faith. Walk through that dark hall, through that doorway, and get out of there and find out that there's a better life waiting for you on the other side of that door. You don't have to stay. You didn't come into this world to live a life of misery and abuse and then die without ever knowing happiness and joy and safety. That is not what we were promised when we enough to be faithful enough to step out and grab it and receive it, I should say. Step out and receive it. But as long as we're clinging on our hopes. So with that, I say, my hope is that you will please, please don't stay where you're not welcome. And I say that because if you're in an abusive situationship, you're not welcome. That person doesn't love you if they're abusing you on any level. That person doesn't love you if they don't see that you're miserable and don't care that you're miserable. They don't care anything about you. They don't want you. They just want something to abuse. They want a subject. Whether if they're a violent abuser and they've been punching up on you, whipping up on you, kicking you, beating you, They want that. They don't want you. They just want to be able to continue to have somebody to punch on. Why volunteer for that? Why? Why volunteer to stay for that? I don't get it. So anyway, I was saying that the way some women manage to leave, and I don't know who I'm speaking to, but I know Sister Zenobia is here and she's in the chat room and she's saying hello, but there may be some out there that are and if you're out there and you're in an abusive situationship, and you don't know how to get out of it, please don't be afraid to ask for help. From where? Hello? I think someone's knocking at my hotel door. Oh, maybe not. Okay, if she knocks again, then I'll have to pardon myself for a brief moment. Don't be afraid to imagine yourself living a better life away from this person. Some people stay in situationships, even if it's abusive or even if it's violent, because they don't want to not be in a relationship. That's not healthy either. Some women just like, well, I don't want to be without a man, but you already are without a man, because if that person is beating on you, he's not a man. He's a Rottweiler, and not a very nice one. Leave that situation and find you. Well, you don't have to go looking for or finding someone else. Someone better will find you. The Most High Great Spirit, the Almighty Most High Great Spirit, will remove that one from you and move someone better into your life. But you have to close one door before the other one can open. Don't be afraid to be alone for a little while, because you're going to need it. If you get when, well, I won't say if, but I'll say when you some decompression time and space. You need to go somewhere and decompress. Sister Zenobia says the abuser mentally and physically abuse their victims because of their own self-hatred for themselves. That's correct. I believe that. Wholeheartedly. But yeah, trust in whatever faith you believe in, that something better is waiting for you on the other side of that door. You don't want to stay and wait to see what level this abuser will step to or stoop to maintain control over you. So what I was saying before, don't tell the person, oh, I'm leaving, I'm breaking up with you. That's dangerous, honey. If you don't know, you may, a victim may look at it as, well, I'm standing up to him. If you could stand up to him, you wouldn't be getting abused in the first place, okay? And sometimes it's not always wise to stand up to certain people if you don't know what they're capable of, what level of violence they're capable of. Don't take that risk. Wait till they gone. Wait till they gone. They gone away for some time. You steady making your plans in the meantime. And once they're gone, you make your move. Make your move. You don't have to tell them anything. Just go. Get out of there. And don't look back. Don't look back at all. Don't come back. Don't block them from your phone, because they can be very, that's right, run for your life. Sister Zenobia says, run for your life. You can block them from your phone, because they're going to be cunning. They're going to try to be cunning. They're going to be calling you, oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm going to go and get therapy. I'm going to get help. This is the abuser talking. I'm never going to do this to you again. They'll take you on a cruise. They'll buy you flowers, a diamond ring, and, throw a big party for you or whatever. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe. It's just to keep you under their thumb. It's just to keep you their victim. You can't be an abuser if you don't have a victim. Believe me, the abuser will be fine because he will go and look for another victim. He will go and look for someone else very quickly. Don't stay where you're not wanted. I think it was that wonderful songstress Nina Simone. She said something to the effect, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember her words exactly, but a lady knows when to get up and leave the table when respect is no longer being served. And that's real. Even if you are sitting at a table amongst a bunch of disrespectful people and they start disrespecting you, maybe you're eating dinner, lunch, breakfast, or whatever, and these people are disrespecting you, saying mean things to you, get up from the table, leave the food. If you're in a restaurant, leave your share of the bill and get up from that table and leave. Don't stay where you're not welcome. And if they're abusing you, I reiterate, if they're abusing you, you're not welcome. You're not welcome. So I'm going to keep this one short because the network here is very unstable. That's number one. And it looked like it's getting ready to throw down out there. And also because I have to run at some point, not right this second, but I may have to run out of here in another hour or so. I'm dressed, I'm ready. I have everything that I needed to be done. But I may have to weekday business. But yeah, I'll just talk a few more minutes with you guys, with you, Zenobia. I really enjoy your company. When I'm I don't mind talking to myself. When I'm really not talking to myself, I know that there's people that, well, not right now. It's showing 0 people, even though you're on, Zenobia. So I don't know what YouTube does. Sometimes how how many people are on, and sometimes, it'll say one thing and somebody else will see something different. Because I see one person and 4 likes. So there's got to be at least 4 people watching right now that aren't saying anything in the chat. So I can't see them. I don't know who's there, but it just shows that there's one person there. So I don't know what that is, but either way, I'm speaking to somebody's heart right now. That, and it just came upon me today. I said I knew I wanted to do something for Women's History Month, a Women's HerStory Month, because this is our story as women. And I knew that I wanted to touch on the subject of domestic abuse. And, like even, okay, so I said, don't tell the abuser that you're leaving, sneak out, plan well, and in silence, move in secrecy, hide everything, be careful, and always assume that, like, if you guys live, always assume that when you're in the shower, he's checking your phone. Leave no clues at all. Make sure you cover every angle, dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and move in secrecy, and be careful who you tell. Sure, I said in the beginning that you have to don't be afraid to talk to somebody and ask someone for help, but not from his family, not one of his friends, but someone who doesn't know him, someone who you're close to that is not close to him, and someone who is genuinely, on your side, your family member or your closest friend or member of your clergy or whatever. But talk all the authorities. talk to somebody. Don't suffer in silence, because the stress level can wear down your body, your mind, and your spirit, and then once your body is and your mind and spirit is worn down, you can't think, you can't process anything. Your spirit is down, you don't have the energy anymore to fight and plan and focus on how you're going to get out of this situation. That's not healthy, especially in this C19 time. You need your strength up. um I'm so, yeah, like, plan your strategy and plan it well. Make sure that you have an exit ramp. Make sure you have several options of a place to stay. Don't just rely on just one source, for when you make that breakaway. Don't even rely on just one source of transportation to get away. I thought I heard something dripping. I'm hoping there's no leak in this room here. Um, Make sure you have a backup plan A, plan B, and plan C, just in case, somebody doesn't come through, because that also happens. You planning with someone, one person, and you planning for a vehicle, and the vehicle breaks down, or vehicle don't show up on time, and time is of the essence. This abuser is on his way home, and you need to make a fast getaway now, or whatever. And the vehicle that you were counting on to come and pick you up, you and your belongings, is late, traffic or whatever. Have a backup plan. A person that says, okay, yeah, you come and stay with me, it's going to be okay, and then something happens in their life, because everybody has situationships somewhere on some level, and they're like, I know I told you you can come and stay, but now I'm going to have to ask you to leave because I got this situation going on, right? It can come up. Don't just rely on just one source for your getaway or for your stay away. Have cash money on you, in case, because if you're depending on his credit cards, he can also, once he notices that you're gone, he will put a stop on your credit card. Of course he will, on your bank card or debit card or whatever. The abusers, they what Synovia said, Sister Synovia says, the abuser will get you back, then act like he or she loves you for a period of time before the abuse starts again. Yes, and that's true. Like I was saying earlier, they take you on a cruise, they buy you an engagement ring, they'll throw you a big old party for your birthday or whatever, and or your dating anniversary or wedding anniversary, make it really special for you, bring you flowers and clowns and balloons and everything. And then, you start to relax and let your guard down. And next thing you know, a week or two, maybe even a month or two passes, and pow, right in the kisser. There it goes again. The abuse starts again. They can't help themselves, and they don't want to try to help themselves. Why? Because they're not the one being abused. They're not feeling the sting of a backhand across their face. They're not feeling the throbbing pain of their head being bashed into a wall. They don't feel any pressure at all by abusing you. It's not hurting them. How some of the people will say, oh, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. Not. It hurts you more than it hurts them. So they're not going to stop. What hurts them is if they don't have anyone to abuse anymore. Then they start abusing the furniture because you're gone. So anyway, it's been 31 minutes. I'm going to let this go. And if I don't leave in time, because I'm waiting for a phone call, and I have to make a phone call as well to see, what time I need to be, where I need to be. So I'm going to just go ahead and deal with these phone conversations. And if it turns out that I don't have to run off right away today, then I'll come back on live, especially once the network gets a little bit more stable, hopefully later on. I'll come back on live and, or I'll just upload something and I bet probably will do it live because the upload takes too long. But yeah, I'll come back on, and unless I have to run off, of course. If I do have to run off, then maybe I'll come back on tonight and do another live, and we can finish this discussion. Thank you so much, Zenobia, for keeping me company on this live. I greatly appreciate you, sis. I love you. And you don't have to always say something. It's okay. I know you're there. I can see that there's 4 likes. So, once you hit like, it doesn't allow you to hit like again, and I'm not hitting like myself. So there's at least 4 of you watching that I know of. And maybe it might be more than 4. Maybe YouTube is only showing 4 people, but whoever's out there, if I've touched your heart, if I've given you a great topic, sis, thank you. If I've given you some type of hope, it's because I love you. I love all my sister queens, and I want everyone to be having the best life that they can have because we only get this life. We'll only remember this life, and we want to have fond memories of our lives. We don't want to say, oh, life was miserable from start to finish. Sometimes I don't care what you're going through in life. Peace, love, music, and blessings. Oh, peace, love, music, and blessings to you as well, Sister Zenobia. I want all of us to have the highest quality of life that we can have because we all deserve it. So, with that, I'll reiterate what Sister Zenobia says: peace, love, music, and blessings, and grand elevation to all of you. And thank you for watching my Darts channel. And like I said, I'll probably be back on this evening or later on today. Enjoy your Monday. Bye bye now.